So I've decided to make a series called Serious Subjects. You don't have to believe everything you hear me tell you in this series, but keep an open mind that the possibility of these crazy things I might talk about being real is something to be considered and taken serious. It's come to my attention, though, that just ignoring these serious subjects isn't enough for us to live comfortably and better. We don't have to figure everything out overnight, but we should at least give ourselves an ahead of time perspective way of thinking about things before we have to go through some serious trial and effort and maybe even trauma later in life. These serious subjects we're going to talk about are important because we could save ourselves a lot of many things, a lot of stress, a lot of misfortune, a lot of bad things. We could save ourselves from having to go through suffering as much just by being aware and having an idea of how to handle these serious subjects ahead of time. My main serious subject, as you'll find out and know, is the vibe. Now, before I even get into it, just because I don't pay attention to the vibe doesn't mean it doesn't happen every now and then. It's a thing. We would do ourselves a favor understanding enough about the vibe that we didn't use it wrongly or poorly enough that we suffer dire consequences. We want to know enough about the vibe and how to use it, what to do with it, how to live with it, so that we can still be comfortable and enjoy our lives. I will say this, the vibe is a very big defense mechanism on the off chance that something was trying to control our brains and minds and it wasn't for our greater good. We don't want to be vibing constantly all the time. But we want to telepathically know a little bit about how to identify if what we're telepathically speaking to is a human being or not. I can't stress this detail enough. Keep the vibe between us human beings on planet Earth, please. I shouldn't have to go over the potential dangers. You can also use it to communicate with your pets. It's proven to be difficult to not attract any spirits when trying to vibe to other people. Be careful. I pray we never have to use the vibe to ward off any attacks. I use the vibe to communicate with people about very important subjects and matters. We're still testing the waters with this whole vibe thing. I'm unaware of anyone using it perfectly. The vibe is awesome. I want to keep it in my life and want it for you too. We want to be ready, basically. Why does the vibe exist? I, after all this time, have concluded that it's a defense mechanism. Although I'm sure it has many uses. People have definitely gone against what they knew was right and good, and they've done wrong. It is possible that life out there could go against the right thing that they should do and the good that they should do, and they choose to do the wrong things. If missiles and nukes aren't enough to save us from some kind of invasion or something, then at least we have the vibe to communicate with each other on and have that as one of our main ways preventing cataclysm. If you don't believe me that it is, it's because we don't understand the vibe enough and know what to do with it enough to help you and others understand why it's there. If there was nothing really that we believe to prevent an alien invasion from happening, we would want the vibe power to be able to reach out to God and speak to God if we ever absolutely needed it and needed protection. We don't want to lose the ability to vibe. If it's true that you can't prevent yourself from hearing my vibe voice and it becomes annoying, just remember that my thoughts aren't half as bad as what y'all could have been left with. If I was on the other side in y'all's shoes, I'd put up with hearing my thoughts and know that it could be a lot worse, and we don't want it to be. Probably hear me say this another time, maybe a few times, but let it be known, people deserve, after being born into this crazy world and being expected to try and do good and do what's right and do things in this world, people after this much time, we deserve to have the opportunities to do just about anything we ever wanted open to us. Just because I don't like old Jim Bob and how he says things sometimes doesn't mean that I'm gonna want anything bad for him, because then I would be looked at and judged as having bad character. This universe would probably feel some type of way about me somehow that isn't good and not give me as many good things as I want in life. Basically, what I provide for all of you people is knowledge and true experiences, what I learned about life for all of you. Like, if I wasn't here to live just for myself, and I did truly come to Earth and live to help others, then the rewards must be pretty amazing, if not the feeling itself. Everybody on Earth has at least one person that's rooting for them and better for their lives. Even if it's just me, they have one person on their side. They're not alone. As long as I live, y'all will never be alone in this life. I will always want better for each and every single one of you. I can only imagine what it must have been like for you people to go through whatever it is you did, good or bad. I can only imagine the kinds of thoughts you people have gone through to make it this far, and I want you to know that I am proud of y'all. I am extremely proud of everybody on this planet that did enough good so that we are blessed with another day, even another hour, to live longer. I'll tell you what, I'll put up with old Jim Bob saying a rude comment and living with him on this earth too, than to be sitting in a lake of fire.